So what's up, guys? I read the Halloween Return script by Marcus Dunstan and Patrick Melton in one sitting today. It's a page turner, so much so that I felt the need to sit down and talk about it with you guys. So anyway, this is my first script review. Not something that I'm going to be doing that often, but we need to talk about this script. Michael lunges out of the corn stalks behind her and yanks her back into the darkness. The vodka bottle smashes her over the head, shattering. She falls to the floor. But Michael grabs her quickly, hoisting her up off the ground and jamming the broken bottle into her body. Again and again, she moans with pain. He then jams it into her neck, allowing her to drop to the floor. I tried to understand him. I wanted to help him, but when I saw what was inside of him, God help me, I tried to kill him. I tried to kill him, Dr. Loomis. I tried. Him, the camera slowly rises, revealing the man's attire. Dr. Loomis, you speak of Michael Myers as if he were just a man. All right, guys, what's up? Yeah, we're going to do a script review, but first off, I'm going to give a couple shout outs. The guy that hooked me up with this script, Ozan Sarigul on Killer Flicks, definitely wanted to give him a shout out. And also another member of Killer Flicks, Brian Williams. So anyway, with that out of the way, let's get into this script. Now, there's a few different ways I could approach this. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give you a brief synopsis of the whole story, and then I'm going to talk about some key scenes throughout that I think make this script really good. But please make sure you stay till the end, or if you just want to fast forward to the end, there is one scene that literally sent chills down my freaking spine. Okay, so the story of Halloween Returns, this was actually going to take place right after the first Halloween, pretty much ignoring even the second Halloween, which I always thought they were going to take place after the second. No, this one actually takes place right after the first. We open with one of Myers' victims. Her name is Karen. She's a friend of Laurie Strode and all the other gang that got killed in the first movie. And this is where we have our opening. She's screaming for help, and then all of a sudden, Michael is stopped. There are sirens everywhere. Our first main character is presented. The psychiatrist, his name is Rogers, and this is a completely new character. People often assume that Loomis was the only psychiatrist that took care of Michael, but there is another guy, I guess, and his name was Rogers. And Rogers is a pivotal character throughout this whole story, from the beginning to the end. But the opening shot is really cool because Rogers is pleading with Michael to stop, and he's telling him there's really nothing left. And Michael gives up. And so if you read the script, it's cool how they, they even show how the camera is going to be moving, and it's to the back of Michael's head, camera pulls up, and then Michael's mask is pulled off. But of course, we only see the back of his head. That's a cool thing about this script also, is that Michael is unmasked throughout a good portion of the movie, and they take advantage of that with use of shadows. As a matter of fact, there's one portion in the script that says Michael's face is never to be fully shown. So the main story here is 10 years later, Michael is on death row because it takes a while to actually, execute somebody once they're on death row. And so we fast forward 10 years later, the execution. And so Sophia, who is Dr. Rogers' daughter, she wants to watch Michael fry. And Deputy Hunt, who you might remember from Halloween 2, his son Noah, they are both there. And Michael remembers Sophia probably when she was young, when he was under the care of Dr. Rogers. This is one of the best scenes in the story, because when I first heard, I've done updates on this in the past, and when I first heard that Myers was going to be on death row, I was pretty skeptical. I mean, that's a hard thing to pull off and have it not seem silly, outside of the realm of the whole Myers lore and universe. It just didn't fit. But the way the scene transpires in this story actually works, and it's one of the best scenes in the whole script. They've already pumped him with 2 vials of lethal injection, and he has given up, and then all of a sudden he sees Sophia out of the corner of his eye, and this sets Michael off in a rage. The needle gets millimeters from Michael's bulging vein when, snap, one of the restraints breaks, Michael's hand slapping into the medical examiner's throat. In the viewing room, a horrifying scream emits from the execution chamber. Rogers hears it, so does Sophia. Quick insert shot. Michael grabs the examiner's head, twisting it 180 degrees. Rogers moves to the window, trying to look in. Quick insert shot. Michael grabs a syringe, slamming it into the eye of the medical tech. Another yelp. Rogers tries to see, but everything is hidden behind the curtain. Quick insert shot. The slash of a scalpel hits the neck of the second medical tech, blood spewing out. And that's always one aspect of the whole Myers universe that I've loved, is how he has this rage inside him and we really can't explain it. And that really is what gives him life back. And the way that scene unfolds, his veins start popping out. It's almost like something out of the Incredible Hulk. But what's really cool is there's a power outage, so it's really dark. And the scene is just so violent. And this is where the confusion happens, because Michael escapes and then the building catches on fire. And Hunt and Rogers, they think Michael is dead because they see a guy on fire and they think it's Michael, but it's not, of course. And again, Michael does not have his mask on at this time. So this could be a really cool scene to play out, because they'd have to do all this without showing his face, obviously. And they could make use of shadows and make use of lighting and all that. And the scene would have been really cool, I think. So throughout the rest of the script, Michael is doing what he does best. You know, he stalks his prey. And I think not since the first movie have they had so much fun with Michael not exactly killing his prey, but having fun with him before he ultimately strikes. Sophia stops on her porch, leaning down and picking up the mail. She checks it, not noticing Michael behind her. After a moment, she turns, but Michael moves behind a tree. She tiptoes forward, seeing Liam. Behind her in the bushes, Michael stands, watching. As she moves to Liam and Noah, Michael steps away. And as dark as this script is, there are a few scenes that, you know, the audience can kind of ease back and have some fun with. Like one where these kids, they're playing this Halloween prank. They throw some eggs against the van that Michael steals. And then as they pass, they see Michael in the window and he just turns his head and looks at them. Scares the shit out of them, really. And there's a good mix of, you know, blood, but also tension. You know, some of the kills are really bloody, really graphic. Like one of the victims, he actually breaks a wine glass and plunges it into the victim repeatedly. Crash, a vodka bottle smashes her over the head, shattering. She falls to the floor. But Michael grabs her quickly, hoisting her up off the ground and jamming the broken bottle into her body. Again and again, she moans with pain. He then jams it into her neck, allowing her to drop to the floor. And then one of the other kills, he actually pulls the victim into a corn stalk, so you don't really see them at all. Michael lunges out of the corn stalks behind her and yanks her back into the darkness, screaming. And I like that all the kills aren't the same type deal. You know, there's some creativity throughout the script. Now, the third act of this movie, it takes place at a Halloween party in a field, in a barn, and there's all these Halloween lights. And this is where most of the kills happen. And I could really just visualize this whole scene. You know, it looks like the holiday Halloween. And some of the movies, they have fun with the actual holiday itself more than others. This one is one of those that really does. It utilizes that holiday and it sprinkles it throughout. And so it just gets you in that, you know, the Halloween spirit. But the ending of the story is just so intense. It's really just a standoff between Michael and his psychiatrist, Rogers. But Michael is one step ahead of everybody throughout this whole thing. And Rogers actually tells Michael, you're not gonna win. You're caught. There's no way you can get out of this. And Michael literally grabs his tongue and cuts it down the middle and then puts his mask on him and sends him outside. It's another one of those bait and switch endings, which I'm not the biggest fan of because they've done it so many times. But what did send chills down my spine is Michael actually writes in blood, this town will never be safe again. Because in this story, Michael's not after his sister, you know, that whole family dynamic, it's not part of this. This is like the first Halloween where Michael's just an insane killer and he just wants to kill everybody. He doesn't want to just kill his family line. And I like that they went back to that. But the big question throughout, and I was wondering it myself, is like, where's Loomis? You know, because this takes place after Halloween 1, so he has to be around somewhere. Well, we find out at the very end. I mean, this is after the end of the script. This is like after the titles. This might have been like an end credit scene or something like that, but you know, we see Rogers, he's in the hospital, and there's a shadowy figure in the corner that Rogers is actually talking to, and he tells the shadowy figure that I tried to reason with him, I tried to understand him, but in the end, I had to kill him. And then the shadowy figure, who we all know is Loomis, comes out, and then the camera pulls up, and in the script, it actually says, in parentheses, Gary Oldman. And that just blew my mind. I was like, wow, Gary Oldman would have been a fantastic Loomis. Gary Oldman states, you're talking about him as if he is a man. And he is not a man, he is pure evil. And of course, I'm paraphrasing. Rogers, I tried to understand him. I wanted to help him, but when I saw what was inside of him, God help me, I tried to kill him. I tried to kill him, Dr. Loomis. I tried. Dr. Loomis, him? Camera slowly rises, revealing the man's attire. Dr. Loomis, you speak of Michael Myers as if he were just a man. The man wears a black turtleneck and a beige trench coat. A revolver peeks from his shoulder harness. He's not a man, Dr. Rogers. He never was. Reveal, Dr. Sam Loomis, 40s. He is Gary Oldman with the eyes of a chopping block. He's simply and purely evil. That scene is just so awesome. So overall, guys, this would have been a really great movie if directed properly. It could have been one of the best. I skipped over, moments here and there because I really want you guys to go read this script for yourself. If you're, a fan of the series, I think you'll get a real kick out of it. And I didn't want to give everything away. I just wanted to give you guys kind of the meat and potatoes of it, but it's definitely worth reading. It surprised the hell out of me. I didn't think it would be that great of a script, but I think it would have been great. And as we all know, there are like 10 different script changes or revisions throughout the process. So this script would probably have been completely different than what we would have seen on screen. I mean, this one actually has quite a few Easter eggs to the Halloween franchise, and even John Carpenter. He uses The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing that's on TV during one of the scenes. Also, he uses Miss Grimbridge, which is a reference to Halloween 3. There's a couple of references to Halloween 3, actually. The Silver Shamrock Novelties is the name of the store where Michael gets his mask. A lot of great little Easter eggs in there, which probably wouldn't have made it to the final cut. But yeah, guys, there it is. That's my script review. I know I kind of rambled a bit here and there, but I just wanted to give my thoughts on this script. It was really good. I haven't read the other script, which was Halloween 3D, that was supposed to take place after Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. I don't even know if I'll read that one. Post down in the comments if you'd like me to read that one. I might do a script review on that one too. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. Definitely check out this script if you get a chance. Also, make sure you jump on over to Killer Flicks and we can discuss the script more after you guys read it. I would love for you guys to read it. Like I said, I read it in a day. Also, if you look down below, you can see all my social media links. If you like what I'm doing, please hit that subscribe button. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and Drumdum out.